So I found myself in this place. I think a lot of new parents can find themselves in this, in a space where um, we lose self identity almost. It's like we were this person
We
before.
forget. We
Yes, we
forget who
forget
we
who we
are.
are.
Yeah.
We have, even like sometimes you lose track of your self-worth because you're just up, and it feels like a hamster wheel every day doing the same thing over and over. So that can be hard, and a lot of people aren't able to pull themselves out of that, unfortunately. And it's not something we speak about enough. But I think that and I give this all to God. It's literally my faith, because I don't know where my strength came from in this situation that I've been in, but I'm not choosing to just stay in that and sit in that, keep the blinds shut, sit down, keep the house a mess. I'm choosing to pull myself out of that, and I want people to be on this journey with me. So instead of, this has been something that I've been seeing a lot, instead of just surviving and choosing to be content with everything, I'm deciding to thrive. I'm deciding to see what all is out there for me with the Leilani in my life now, as opposed to, okay, I had her, I has to stop. And, I lose my self-worth. I lose who I am. No, I want to see what all is out there with this new life that I have, and welcome people and encourage people to be on that same path as well, especially new moms, because I know how easy it is to just get stuck in, just surviving and living a day to day and being content with that.
Yeah. It's overwhelming. To those who don't know, it's overwhelming. Yeah, it's like one day you are walking along doing your life, sleeping as late as you want, eating whenever you want,
Everything changes.
and you have a baby, you have this other human being that enters your world, and everything changes. And that's not to bring fear, because it is overstimulating and it is overwhelming, and it does have a huge impact on your life.
I just had my little girl, and I found myself constantly pouring from an empty cup every single day. I would get up, and I would just cater to her from the second I wake up. And obviously that's what new parents do. But I came to a point where I was, from the second I woke up to the second I went to sleep, pouring into her. And I realized that I needed to set some time aside throughout my day to pour into myself. And that was the only way I would be able to make it through this time that I was in. And so I woke up and I was like, how can I take my past experiences, which is dance, and that's what I love to do. That is my career. How can I take dance and bring some people along on this journey with me of wellness? And it's okay to pour into yourself every single day. That's, to me, the only way I've been able to make it through this time as a new parent. So
Yeah, so let's set the stage here, Jasmine. How old is your little girl now?
she's 2 years old.
Okay.
So yes, 2.5 years old. She'll be 3 in March of next year. So yeah, that first, I mean, it still is very tough, but I was by myself changing diapers and milk, and um, just becoming this new mom. There's no handbook on how to become a mom, but I know that I have to be there for this child that I just birthed. And it can be very taxing and very strenuous on the body, the mind, and everything. And so that was my path that I was on. But then when you share it with people that you're aligned with, you realize, okay, they might not be new parents, but they're still on this journey of wellness and wanting to become better than they are today. So we were all very aligned in the vision that we had with Be Greater Than.
What's interesting is you said, and just for the audience, the reason that I wanted to, what's interesting about this portion of this conversation with the Be Greater Than founding team or a group of founders is that each one of you, like you mentioned, are doing something different. You're at a different chapter of your lives. And with you in particular, and especially since the work that we do through Shaping Freedom, it's all about wellness and taking care of yourself and self-care as a part of your life, just like brushing your teeth or taking a shower. The other part of that is the familial legacy part that gets to the topic of parenting. And so that was something that even in those initial conversations, when I heard where you are in your journey of your life and the chapter of new motherhood that you're in, I was like, I have to talk to, I really want to have a conversation with this woman and with this new mama to
Mhm.
talk about what that part of your journey is like. And so parenting is shocking.
It is. It's a shock to your body. You have this
Yeah,
whole life that you're used to for however long, and then all of a sudden, overnight, things just change, and
yeah,
you are completely committed to raising this child that you just gave birth to and you love, but maybe, you don't know all of the right things that you're supposed to be doing. You just have to figure it out along the way. And I feel that a lot of the time when doing that, we can put ourselves on the burner when really I think that it needs to be reversed. We need to make sure we're good in order to make sure that our child is good. And that's what I found through this journey so far. I have to
absolutely.
be okay, and
You
then I know
do.
he's good. Hmm.
Yeah. And you have to breathe. And you have to
Yes.
breathe. And you have to
Yeah.
breathe many times throughout. Consciously breathe. Obviously, you're
Oh,
breathing
yeah.
every day, but consciously breathe
Hmm.
every day,
Hmm.
and also taking a moment to pause throughout the day, because
Hmm.
you're going from, you have all these different hats that you're wearing as an
Hmm.
entrepreneur, as a dancer, as a creative, as a mom, and as whatever relationships you have within your family, and those are very different and sometimes disparate roles that we have. And I'm saying this as someone who very often goes from, you know, doing the meetings about this thing, and then my granddaughter comes over and I slip into, my role as grandmother or role as mother, to my children. And it's a lot. And I think that
Hmm.
in many cultures, and in our culture specifically, and by our culture, I mean the culture of people of color, we treat self care beyond the basics, being clean, getting our hair done, brushing our
Hmm.
teeth, sleeping and all that. We treat it as a luxury when in fact it is such an important part of our being.
Yeah, I think one of the most important parts now that I'm actively like consciously pouring into myself when I can't think back before this time before having her that I did this. It was go go go. It was this performance, that performance, what's next, this rehearsal, this 12-hour rehearsal. It was always go go go. I never put myself first, and for the first time in my life, I am able to do that, and it's because of her. I wouldn't have stopped and realized the importance of putting myself first and pouring into myself and practicing wellness as a lifestyle as opposed to a luxury, if it had not been for becoming a mom. So that is one of the really beautiful things that came from being a mom outside of having my little one. So.
It's interesting you said, you mentioned birthing in two ways. One is obviously the birth, having birthed your daughter. And then you mentioned be greater than as a business that you have also birthed. And I'm really glad that you mentioned that, because creative energy, which is the energy that it takes, creator energy, the energy to create something, it's the energy that it takes for us to be able to bring a child onto this plane. And it's the same energy that it takes to create a dance routine or to create a business. It comes from an idea about something, and then it comes in form, in some kind of a form. And a lot of times, what's different about creative energy, um, or the energy to create something, is that you're most of the time pushing something up a hill.
Mhm.
It's new. You're accessing different parts of your being. Um, and so the fact that you recognize that you birthed two things is, to me, sounds like a testament to your commitment to self care, because you have to first acknowledge, that you're doing this in more than one way. You're creating yourself as a mother. You're creating yourself as a woman who has a child. You're creating yourself as an entrepreneur and everything